Hello there folks, and welcome to Black Bear Outdoors. Today we're going to be talking about one of our favorite outdoor activities, which is shooting. Whether that's target shooting, competition shooting, or just a fun day out at the range. In particular, we're going to be talking about the Maccabee Defense SLR, our custom rifle here. Now you may ask yourself, who's Maccabee Defense, or MDI as they're sometimes called? Maccabee Defense is a husband and wife team working out of Alberta, Canada. They decided they were going to make a receiver set with a non-restricted designation that's going to allow the Canadian shooter to customize a rifle like this to their heart's content. And they'll be using the readily available parts from Eugene Stoner's design. This particular SLR is chambered in 223 Wylde. Now what that means is you can use the 223 cartridge as well as a 5.56 NATO cartridge in this rifle. Now the idea with this rifle has always been, in my opinion, to build the great Canadian rifle. So one of the prerequisites was that the engine room has to be Canadian-made parts. And we succeeded. We did add some non-Canadian parts, like the Geissele trigger, that is absolutely phenomenal, some Magpul furniture and things like that, as well as the Vortex Optics Strike Eagle. Now, as far as Canadian parts go, we went with Colt Canada, we went with Maple Ridge Armories, and we're going to be taking a closer look at those in just a sec. These rifles are fantastic for competition shooting, target shooting, or in our case, a little bit longer range predator control. So what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be taking it inside, taking a look at all the features that it offers, what makes it different from Eugene Stoner's design, and then we'll take it out to the range and see how well it works. Stay tuned. Alright folks, now that we have the rifle on the table, we'll take a closer look at it and some of the differences between this and North America's most popular rifle. So the first thing is the way it takes apart, right? So with the Armalite rifles, you'll have two pins, one is a pivot pin and one is the release pin, and they'll pull apart. With this one, you have an actual bolt at the bottom here, right? So it would require you the massive task of carrying around a hex wrench, which I do anyway. You always have a little cleaning kit. So what you do is you simply loosen this up, and then it simply slides apart, very much like a pistol. So pretty easy, nothing to it. You'll notice another difference, big one, is that little red box there. Now that is actually a trigger housing. So instead of building your trigger straight into the receiver, you build it into this little trigger housing, and then that drops into the receiver with a little set screw there. Here's a tip: when you do build one of these, make sure that you don't over tighten that little screw, because what it will do is it will mess with the function of your safety lever, right? If you find that your safety lever is a little bit too tight, just give that a slight little turn backwards and you'll see it'll function like soap. Alright, so that's probably the biggest differences. Everything mil-spec usually works on this. There's one or two things that I've heard that doesn't fit perfectly, this, that and the other, but from my experience, all the Geissele stuff I put in there works like a charm. Putting it back together is pretty simple. Trying to do it on camera though is probably going to be a different story, but let's see what we can do. And all we do now is just we tighten our little bolt. And there we go, snug as a bug in a rug. Right, we'll do a quick function check here. Yep, she seems to be working fine. Alright, so every Maccabee receiver is cerakoted by RDSC. They do a fantastic job. Any of these nicks and scratches you see on the actual receiver is my doing. I am not the world's most skilled gunsmith, but there you go. Well, essentially it's a tool, so it is going to get scratched up and so forth. So let's go through the different components that we used. We'll start at the back here. So the first component here is our Magpul stock. It's the ACS-L, and it's got a little compartment in here where I keep the FRT, which is the paperwork saying that this is a non-restricted rifle. Now obviously it's fully adjustable, as you can see, and you can lock it in place if you like. Next up is our charging handle. What we did was we got a Radian Raptor Lite. I absolutely love these charging handles, make life so much more easier. Then just a straight up Magpul MOE pistol grip. Our bolt carrier group we went with is Colt Canada. I don't think you can get more battle proven than that, and it's going to give me a lot more reliability. Now the lower parts kit is Geissele, as well as the trigger is a Geissele SDC trigger, flat face trigger. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. Just look at that. I hope you can see the trigger pull there. This thing is like glass. Alright, so next up what we've got is obviously our handguard here, which is from Maple Ridge Armories. Underneath my handguard I have the Maple Ridge Armories Fluted barrel. It's an 18.6 inch barrel to keep it as a non-restricted rifle. It's a 5R rifling that's in there, and yeah, it is a fantastic piece of machinery. The other thing that we've got on there is also the Maple Ridge Armoury gas system, which is the claw type gas block on there. It's non-adjustable with a rifle length gas system as well. Now we decided to go for the Maple Ridge Armoury's muzzle brake. Not that you really need a muzzle brake on a 5.56 or in this case a 223 Wylde, but it does finish the rifle off quite nicely. You'll notice that I did put some rail sections on the foregrip here because I like a bit of a thicker foregrip, and I've got some Magpul rail covers and the vertical grip there. For a scope mount we went with the Aero Precision lightweight scope mount and the Vortex Strike Eagle 1:6 variable optic. We'll do a video on that one still, but a very nice optic. All in all, I think we chose our components and parts very well. Oh, just forgot to mention we also have some Magpul backup sights on there in case the optic fails. Yeah guys, so I think that is all the components that we've got on here. Just so you know, I'm very impressed with the engine room here, with the bolt carrier group, the Maple Ridge Armories kit. It's very high quality gear. So that's enough chit chat from me. Let's head down to the range and see if she works. So Mrs. Bear decided to do some accuracy testing for us on this crazy windy day. She's brave enough to do it. With the Remington Freedom Bucket ammo, some Hornady Super Performance Match ammo, 75 grains, as well as the Federal Premium V-Shock 55 grains. So let's see what accuracy she gets. All right, let's take a look at the results. So first up is the Remington Freedom Bucket. This measured in at about 0.8 inches, which is not bad for plinking ammo. Not bad at all. Up next is the Federal V-Shock. This did a really nice little group of 0.75 inches as it measured out there. Next up is the Hornady ammo, and unfortunately this one had a bit of a flyer, so it's going to open up the group to about 1.5 inches. Without that flyer it would have been a solid 0.75. However, we show them like we shoot them, so it is a 1.5er. But that just goes to show that you can trust what Maple Ridge Armories says about their barrels. They're incredibly accurate. Even on a windy day like this, you can expect 1 to 1.5 ammo.
Well, after putting it through its paces, I can certainly say this gun is accurate. If it can deliver decent groups with a shooter like myself, it certainly does do its job. Love the actual rifle, love the receiver set. That trigger is phenomenal. The Maple Ridge barrel and muzzle brake is fantastic. So yeah guys, that's the Maccabee SLR. Hope you enjoyed the video.
If you enjoyed it, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. We really do need your support. Remember, stay legal, stay safe, and shoot straight. We'll see you next time.